Hey, baby. I'm on the air right now. Kind of.
Baby.
How are you?
Baby.
Good, baby.
That's baby. That's baby. I'm on the air right now.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. There we go. I was thinking maybe just getting something besides a decoration hub to look at. I do want to cover that up though. Okay. And let's get that a little smaller in case somebody messages me something private. Boom, bitty, bam. All right, and actually, let's get this set up a little different too. I don't know how much like running around will do. I just want to get a good backdrop, that's all. Maybe something like that. Okay, a little better. And blink. Blink. Okay, good. Let me check your chat. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get set up for this. Hey, Jamie Jen. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Chris is having trouble with one of his computers, I think, that he normally streams from. So just kind of jumped in. And I figured I was probably the people you got most likely would want to lynch this month. So for the arty nerfs, so I better come here and face the music. All right, let's see here. Can we get upgrades? Can we not upgrade city deeds? I want to upgrade my POT tax-free city deed to a keep, but there are no upgrade options. Yeah, for whatever reason, the tax-free, and I'm going to be fixing that at some point, and I can do a manual one for you if you just ping me in a PM just to reiterate what you're wanting, and I can give you the how much code it would actually cost, and then I can just work it out for you. But pretty soon, a lot of changes are happening with deeds, like kind of trickle over time, and you guys may have noticed some deed price changes just this round. Every month it'll be that way for a while. I'll be combining a lot of those into one upgrade channel that makes sense that you should be able to bounce between. So, but probably not towards closer to the end of when all these price adjustments are in place. Hey, good. I'm glad you really like it, that odd French guy. That's good to hear. Okay, so Oh, I'm glad you like it too. Yeah, I know people that are really just into the artifacts probably are hurting the most, but hopefully you guys out there that are great crafters can help them out and help them find a new path and a way to gear up and stuff. Or maybe get into some crafting or just frequent some people's merchants and stuff. Or some artifacts will still be fairly decent as well. All right. I guess that's all looking fairly good. We got the banner up, blah, blah, blah. What time is it? All right, so I'm going to let this sit here, kind of like what Chris does, where he gets the stream going a bit early with the fish tank. Well, instead, we're just going to be doing a little bit of chilling in Spindleskog with the starting now message, so I can just finish getting my other things ready. Why didn't I just leave it and just degrade it over to... Oh, gotcha. I guess that could have been an option, but no, we decided just to rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah, you know, we've been talking a lot about this upcoming balance work is just kind of a necessity that needs to occur to get the game on track to where we wanted it. The original focus was supposed to be that crafters were, you know, to reign supreme. Getting back into that concept. My backdrop. Oh, thank you. Maybe you mean Spindleskog. Probably not that mess behind me in my camera. But so instead you poke a finger into our eye as if I didn't care. I definitely care. But in any case, we're open to get things back on track where they should be. We understand it'll be upsetting for some folks. We understand we'll also lose some folks. But you know, we're trying to think a big picture going forward and stuff like that. Now, keep in mind too, out of all the big Band-Aid type rip-off stuff that's supposed to be occurring, these were the big ones. That was the second round of artifact nerfs that included the bulk of them, and the only ones left are non-tiered artifacts, which shouldn't affect you guys too much. Those may change significantly in regards to what stats they provide if they don't feel like they really have a home. You know, if they were kind of useless ones, take advantage of that since I'd have to make 4 other ones of the same one anyway, 4 recipes, 4 different salvage tables, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, you know, I'll get more into this as the stream officially starts. In fact, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. And but just do please keep in mind, please keep things you know, civil, kind, constructive, considerate, you know, that kind of stuff as we work through things. Yeah, those tamer artifacts are extremely powerful. Some of the things that really needed looked at. I mean, even before all those artifacts were out, I had people in my group with pets that were out tanking tanks. But in any case, let's see here. And now keep in mind too, I'll get more into it in a minute. Let me just make sure I'm fully set up for the start, and that way I can go get some personal things done around the house and then dive right in. Okay, he didn't have it. Yeah, so it looks like we won't be having the prizes today after all. Sorry about that. So no prizes today. All right. Well, I'm going to let this run, and I'll be back to let you guys beat up on me for a little bit and do... Yeah, I'm going to have to pay attention to chat. Yeah, I'll have to pay attention to chat. I'm not set up to do any sort of bot type stuff yet. At least I'm on the right channel though, so that's at least a step in the right direction. As this was kind of last minute here, but last time it was last minute. I went on the other channel and I didn't want to do that again, so I'm trying to not use that other channel anymore. All right, so let me just start getting my screen set up, and I'll be ready to start here soon. Okay. This I probably don't need. And let's pop that out. And I apologize. I didn't get any feedback from any of the devs that they were going to be able to be on anyway. But I'm not set up to have their cameras on here, so it kind of works out for the best. So it might just be me or somebody else on audio, unless they give me a last-minute instruction on how to get their video on here. But yeah, back when I was a streamer, I never had a guest video person on to learn that. Did monkey with it once, and I remember it was a pain trying not to get a black screen when you were trying to put their video on camera, and so I never overcame that. Yeah, I guess it is a holiday. Yeah, yeah. Memorial Day weekend. Got some great sales up there. Got a little banner up there for you guys just to remind you. Looks like Vesper might be helping me get the camera up, and we may not need it anyway, but it'll be nice in case Sanyo or Ravalox decides to join. Okay, I don't need any of this. Close. That's up. Okay, and I will have Unity open in case you guys want me to check anything really quick, like drop rates. Somebody, and maybe I was a little curt with them, Cora was asking more specific drops info on the Thurgy gem, the greater Thurgy gem recipe. And I did look into it more, and it wasn't dropping enough, so I increased that and pushed that into a submittal today, but it'll take a little bit for it to patch in. I don't know, Dr. Rell. I'm getting a lot of really positive feedback, and I'm getting a lot of negative feedback from folks that were hit hard by the Artie nerfs. So I'm hoping as the dust settles, because I think it's still a little early to tell, and we're going to be doing slight tweaks going forward for like artifacts and these gems and that kind of stuff. The big ripping off the Band-Aid balance stuff for artifacts is essentially done. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go to that link, create a room, and share the guest link with people. Okay. Create a room. Huh. Yeah, Vesper, I'm not going to monkey with this right now. Somebody asked me to say thingajiggly-biggly. There we go. All right, let's see here. Okay, I got that ready to talk about. Let me get some spreadsheets ready too. Yes. Thanks. Thanks. And gems. That's weird. Here we go. Yeah, we might be able to do prizes. Go ahead and try to do the contest keyword, and I should be able to get it to work. I got to get this ready. You. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I just want to get some few things situated, and then we'll probably start a little bit early. But, yep, that's the phrase, spring makes my heart sing. And we got some prizes lined up. Now, prizes won't be going out till probably around Tuesday, right around the same time as the screenshot video contest prizes, and the fishing contest prizes, as well as the treasure hunting contest prizes. It'll all be coming out on Tuesday. But yeah, we'll definitely be announcing the winners of the stream prizes today. But those other contests we won't announce until Tuesday. All right, so I'll be right back. I might be able to get my old music going too. Hold on a sec. I don't know if I had that on this computer or not. Yeah, I don't remember. No. Yeah, I don't know where I pulled my music from. I can't remember. All right. So maybe let's do this instead. All right. Hopefully that's not too soft, not too loud. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Of course not. All right, I'll be right back. All right, give me a second. I want to do 2 more chat spam things to get ready. Hey, thank you, Thoric. Appreciate that. Thank you for the biddies. Sorry I'm not set up, guys, for... yeah, we're not going to have the question answer thing today. I'll have to just pay attention to chat and do my best to keep up. And if you notice your question goes out of the chat buffer, you'll just have to ask it again as I keep scanning through. So next time, even though I'm on the right channel, next time I'll try to have the bot ready if I ever have to cover again. All right, I just want to get 2 spammy spam things set up for the spreadsheets. Let's see here. So that one. All right, you guys let me know if these links seem to be working. Hey, more biddies, thank you very much. Dugan Redhammer and Dr. Hirnbrand. Thank you guys. And Thoric again, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And Waldo Ptolemy. And if I miss any of you guys, I apologize. I'm just trying to catch it as they come in. Next time, I'll have the bot ready to capture all that in a list for us. Yeah, so if that link, I can test that myself, actually. Thank you, Dugan, again. Okay. All right, that seems to work. Yeah, well, that's on the wrong tab. I don't think that matters. Yep, the other one didn't have 2 tabs. Okay. All right, I think I got everything ready, guys. Let me make sure I have no last minute PMs. No, I think I'm good to go. And if you guys are okay with it, let's just go ahead and start a little bit early. I'm pretty much ready to roll. Oh, let me get some water, actually, though. Then I'll be ready to roll. Oh. Be right back. Greetings, avatars! Hello, I'm Elgarion, Community Manager for Shroud of the Avatar, and today we're going to be discussing, R90, all the changes, and, upcoming stuff if you'd like to. But a lot of it based on what questions you ask, it'll be a Q&A. I don't have the bots set up for question and answer, so I'll have to just try to scan through chat and hopefully catch what you ask on the fly. And keep asking if it comes out of the buffer, because I'll be just using the scroll bar to find questions. And then also, it looks like I will be able to do the stream prizes. So Spring Makes My Heart Sing. If you put that into in-game chat, it'll put you into the contest for prizes. Also, if you were to buy something on the Crown Store, that also makes you eligible for prizes as well. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's go and do something. All right, so kind of just run through some things, like looking at the update for R90. Of course, we had a lot of imbued gems and jewels come into the game. So imbued gems and jewels basically come from artifacts. As you salvage them, you have a chance to get them, or have a chance to get 1, 2, or 3 of them if it's a rare, legendary, or epic artifact. And these gems and jewels are used to enhance your crafted gear. They can only be applied to crafted items. And this is kind of an endeavor to bring crafting back into focus, is kind of what the original intent was, to make in-game items, the crafted items, be most powerful in the game. But we don't want to abandon the concept of artifacts. We'll still be continuing to add them in-game. And you'll see that as you look at this spreadsheet, the artifact spreadsheet. In fact, no, you could probably get a better representation of it by looking at the jewels spreadsheet. And if you look at the jewels, you'll see that they kind of break down into like a category of, what it's for, if it's for air magic or whatnot. And you say, wow, there's a lot of air magic gems and jewels, but not so much, with, say, like moon magic or something. So that helps us to identify holes as to, what kind of buffs you would need on an artifact. And then when we add those in, you could extract the gems and jewels to put into crafting, or use the artifacts as is. And I'll be trying very aggressively not to add in artifacts that will later on need to be nerfed. We'll try to come up with fun stats for them that'll still make it worthwhile, and is a reason to actually have them. And maybe salvage some, and then have some artifacts to keep for use as well. Thank you, Dugan, and Waldo. Thank you again, and Skeggy Media. Thank you, Mr. Chadwick. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for all the bits. And Darton Obscuro and Treasure Pile. Guys rock. I know Waldo gifted a bunch of subs. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll try to do those periodically throughout the stream, because you don't have that information at the end. Safe Ava, thank you for the bits as well. And if I miss you, I deeply apologize. I'll try to periodically look through the list, though. All right, so basically these imbued gems and jewels are a way for you to enhance your crafting gear, which is beginning in more and more love in terms of you get a little bit extra durability with crafted gear. They don't decay quite as fast. Artifacts decay about 10% faster from durability damage. And now, of course, crafted items can use these imbued gems and jewels, which artifacts cannot. And that'll be probably, the way we kind of separate it out as to what makes a crafted item a little more significant, a little more powerful than an artifact. And other things, of course, we have the sales going on. We've got a 50% bonus XP, of course, all weekend long till like Tuesday at noon, I believe. We got the 20% crown sale. Hamlets, the smallest town size, are 20% off. It's 700 and it's 720 now. And flash sales, guys, are going on up until Tuesday at noon. So every 2 hours, 9 new sale items will be on the store. And but lots of just check out the latest notes. Lots and lots and lots of bug fixes and UI improvements. One of my favorite is one that Devicult did this round, and it's when you mouse over a crafting component, it will give you a tooltip indicating what the buff is on that item that you would be applying to your piece of gear, whether it's a strap, binding, sheet, wire, heartwood, that kind of stuff. Even the new imbued gems and jewels. And that's really, really handy, so that right when they're there in your inventory, you can just mouse over them and see, ooh, I want to use that one, or better not use this one. But yeah, and he did that one on the fly, like last minute, and it turned out great. Really thankful he did that. Of course, you guys have the ability now in your inventory to sort through sort your inventory based on when it was added to your inventory, or whenever the last stack was last refreshed, meaning another item was added to the stack. So your newest items can appear on top, to help you when you come back from adventure, pull out the new stuff and leave your old stuff there that you'd prefer to leave in there. I'll go into more specifics with imbued gems and jewels here in a moment, because I have a feeling that'll be what a lot of the questions are about, that and the artifact nerfs. And then, of course, for artifact adjustments, here are the new stats for the artifacts. Put that in there as well. And I need to put this copy. There we go. What else did we have? Let me scan through all these notes. There was just a ton of notes to write up this time. Let's see here. Base belts, like your base crafted belts and your base crafted rings and necklaces. I don't know if you guys noticed, to give the crafted versions of rings, necklaces, and belts a little bit more love, they have starting stats now that are a lot more significant. I mean, they're not huge, but they go upwards of like 6 primary attributes for belts, and I think upwards to, I think it was 6 for rings and necklaces as well. But and then like a gold, I think it was like +5 intelligence in the starting ring and necklace, and then I think silver was, what wasn't it, like +1 intelligence and +5 magic resistance, to give a little bit of love in that regard. Let's see what else. I mean, there's so many things. Lots of combat and skill changes. Be sure to go through the patch notes I just linked you, and there's just so many things to read through, guys. But let me look at some of these these user interface changes. Ravalox added, looks like 6 more maps for Blood River Massacre, West End, Sequana Colossus, Ulfheim, Nightshade Pass, and East Sanctus Forest. That's really cool. So now keep in mind, this was a tick release, not a talk, so this was technically not even new content release, and we still had quite a bit of more things for you to work with. The decoration palette actually has a new column of information as well, showing you the precise coordinate locations for items to help you differentiate like which item you're looking at, and to know exactly where it's located. And not so many player economy rewards and loot changes. I had some people report that things weren't dropping as much, and there wasn't really any major loot changes this month. That was last month where a lot of those went in. And then Sanyo went crazy with tons of quest fixes and improvements. Yep. So, but let's go ahead and get rolling. I'm going to start going through your questions. That's just kind of a rundown. But don't forget, here is the patch notes that were the patch that just came in, released 90 yesterday. and so many good things rolling in. I know some of you may not see some of them as good, but we really feel that the artifact balance concept and just trying to push our ways back into giving crafters love is, best for player economy, best for the game. And it was a tough correction to make, but we shouldn't be doing any huge corrections to artifacts going forward after this point. One thing you may notice is, so I haven't done the tiered ones yet. They're still untiered. Things like, the Torch of Jarek and stuff. So I'll be looking at their stats, possibly give them the love, because the untiered ones really haven't been really looked at too closely since they were created. So give them some loving, possibly. I don't know if any of them will need a nerf at all, but then they'll go into tiering, and there'll be components assigned to them as well. And maybe their even stats will change if it's a very underutilized artifact to fill in some of the holes on the available buffs available to you guys for gems and jewels and stuff. But so when it comes to the crafting ones coming up next month, it's possible some of them technically get nerfed. And if any of them have dual wear restrictions, those dual restrictions, I'm trying to phase those out and basically design the artifact, lower its values enough where you can wear two of them. But the goal would be to, if you were to have two of the crafting artifacts equipped and then use one jewel, because I think they would all create a jewel. Yeah, all of them would create a jewel, I think. Well, no, the Forest Mangler, that would create a gem. So in any case, that if you had two of the artifacts equipped and one of the jewels attached to the remaining, like your necklace, you would go above what you were at for that particular crafting stat. So you'll be able to achieve a higher bonus overall. And that's the goal there. All right, so let me start scanning through and get questions, and just please keep in mind, keep things kind, considerate, constructive, and I'll do my best to answer as well as I can. All right, so starting at the top, as far as I can scroll up. Yeah, no, probably won't do any singing. Maybe a little bit of zippity doo dah. All right, let's see here. I don't know too many songs. Oh, so somebody, Mad Chef Azino says, someone's been asking for 100% bait recovery to go away. And we want it to go away. In fact, we thought we had a fix in that did make it go away. But it didn't take. And Chris will look at that probably again at some point to figure out why it didn't take. And then the reason is we want bait to be something that you actually have to go find. And we want the special bait types to be significant. And we want... so if bait recovery goes below 100%, gets down to a certain level, we can then up how often certain baits drop from the different loot tables they're in, and also increase their effectiveness based on the scarcity of the bait. But right now with 100% bait recovery, those numbers are pretty low in terms of how significantly different they are. So we could probably give that some love too once they become rarer. Okay, so we got Edelfrau Fonage. Question, when will changes apply that makes it easier to place lots? Chris said he was going to work on it, but did not hear about it for a long time now. We have a guild member. We're at a level 4 hype? Or we're working at it? Oh, nice. Oh, it's completed. Hey, good job, guys. I'll be sure to hit that prize bot as many times as we have hypes up there to give out some prizes. We have a guild member waiting for this for quite a while, and we cannot place his castle lot due to uneven ground. Oh, and so maybe you're even talking about the terraforming a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately, that terraforming concept, and I think I remember Chris mentioning he's been experimenting with it, but I don't think he has anything solid just yet to provide you guys. But it's definitely on the radar. Yeah, those castle lots are huge, and I remember I never placed a castle lot. Well, no, I guess I have now that I've monkeyed around with them. as an employee, but back in the day I only had a keep size lot, and it was, even though it's smaller, was still really difficult to place. And let's see here. Okay. And next question I've got, let's see here. Remove pattern doesn't work on the bandit helmet. Is this by design or a bug? And that's definitely a bug. And I fixed a bug this morning where for the bandit torso. And what I need to really do is just review all of the artifacts, legacy and new versions, to make sure that the pattern removers work. It'll take a while, but maybe a day. Pattern remover. All artifacts. Yeah, the pattern remover should work on all artifacts. So definitely not by design. All right. Tamers can't socket the taming necklace, so it doesn't work. Can't socket the taming necklace. I don't know if there is a taming necklace. What you might be referring to, Alexander. So Alexander Soda says Elgarion tamers can't socket the taming necklace. It doesn't work. So what you mean is you probably have a jewel, but since tamers have the summoning, the tamer's necklace on, equipped, the summoning whistle, you can't apply a jewel to that, so you're missing out on one slot that could potentially use a taming bonus. I don't know. Let me experiment with some things. Maybe not opening up the taming necklaces for masterwork and enchanting, but at least letting you socket them. Let me see if it works, first of all. It might be a new take thing, but hopefully it's just me hooking it up. Yeah, but I'll give it a try. I'll see if I can get this, get it to socket, and then if it does, then yeah, I don't see any harm in just one socketable item on that. But ultimately, you're sacrificing power to be a tamer because of just losing that one slot, and that's kind of been the spiel. But I suppose if we held back enchanting and masterworking to that slot, it still kind of gives a little bit of that feel. So you're pretty sure you're going to have to put a hard cap. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by the hard cap, Gwendolyn. It looks like you might be talking to somebody else. Oh, and Snowdog JJJ, when will the pet food buffs carry over from instance to instance? Please don't tell me it's a feature. I saw some people mention that in the forums, and so sometimes you'll see me like things on the forums, and other times you may not get a response. Doesn't mean we didn't read it, and doesn't mean we didn't chit-chat about it in our chat. I'll link out a lot of good things you guys say to the team, and we discuss it. And there was one just this past week that people were discussing the food buffs for pets. And Chris brainstormed some stuff, but I don't know if he's going to get into that anytime super soon. But it's on our radar that yes, the pet foods are not persistent throughout scenes, and the reason is because technically, and don't get heartbroken about this, but Chris explained it, is that technically your pet dies and is resummoned when you load a scene, and when the pet goes away and comes back, it loses its buff. So, but he thought there might be a workaround that he could do, but buff canceling, like a nudge. All right. And where am I at? Ooh, I'm getting caught up. Okay, so Blaze Garsink says, question, Taming innate skills were recently updated to really slow down the skill raising. It's a bit too much. Is there a way to ease off a bit and raise taming innates a bit faster? I'll ask Chris. see if he's happy with the results. Because so ultimately, I remember back when, because I do have a death mage specialized, and he's a tamer specialized as well. Real fun character. And one thing I noticed, though, when all those new taming skills came out back in the day, that big batch of them that came out all at one time, I had everything grandmastered in about 20 minutes while standing at the tamer, which was kind of bad to the other extreme. It was, kind of took quite a bit of potential fun out of it that I could have worked at leveling those in the time ahead. And instead, I got it done in 20 minutes. So, yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so we got Pifester asking, any thought given to higher levels of crafting, meaning anything? The difference in effects between GM crafter and a high-level crafter is pretty negligible. In episode 2, total points and stats, if you add everything up on identical pieces, GM enchant was 115 enchant. So in regards to making just more recipes that have higher level requirements is what you're hoping for, so you have a reason to level it up, or maybe just more bonuses that could occur. Because a lot of your stats, the more you raise your, like masterwork and enchanting, all that kind of stuff, continue to raise. But there are notoriously some crafting skills that don't seem to have too much reward for raising. If it's in regards to just level of the recipe that you're asking, the imbued gems and jewels were at 120 level required and 100 level required, to at least help a little bit with that. I think going forward, I'll try to pay more attention to the difficulty of the recipes being put in to give you more encouragement to level up your skills, and then maybe even have some artifacts that have stats that are tied into your production level. Because I know we can do it for adventure level, so I should be able to do it for production level. Kind of gave some use for that stat. Things like that. I'll try to think of some outside of the box things to reward and look at each skill and see if there's any that really seem pretty worthless to level after a certain point. And be sure, if you have a specific skill you want to talk about, message me, PM me, and explain your thoughts. And I'll see if there's something I can do. And if it's complicated, Beezus still does a lot of work on crafting. And so I can ask him if it's something he can figure out. And then sometimes we get programmer support if it's something really fancy. Alrighty. All right, we've got, and I apologize if I missed your question. Just go ahead and ask it again if it's fallen out of the buffer or I accidentally skipped past it. There it is. Okay, I've moved a lot to some other place it, then moved it to the magic mover to place it would not work, especially for fences. I'm not sure if that's a question for me. Yeah, Serpentwine, I'm seeing your message about moving a lot. If you could elaborate, that'd be great, about having trouble with magic movers. And if it's you're having trouble like with a bug, just report it to me or put it on the bug forums. You can just message me and I could talk to you about it. Also, Lainey on the forums knows a lot about the decoration system, and she could probably give you some insight as well. All right, so why sold on chat? Asking, question, we can't dual BMC rings now even if they aren't equal. Is that a bug or by design? So there was like some partially input. So as I was going through each of the artifacts, any of the ones that had dual restrictions, I want to say every one of them that I did for the balancing pass when I reduced the stat values, I also removed the dual restriction requirements, and I don't think I left it on anything, possibly. Correct me if I'm wrong. For the all ones that are already done. For the crafting ones or gathering, like the BMC ring, those are coming next month, and I'll be removing all those dual wear restrictions, and likely for that BMC ring, I think that's like a meticulous chance for mining bonus. Let me see what we got here. I got Unity up. Yeah, well, I think it's meticulous chance. In any case, it would likely just reduce a little bit so you can wear 2 of them, and then the gems, the jewels you extract from them, if you put that on the necklace, then the combination of all 3, you would have additional mining meticulous. So you could actually go above and beyond the bonus of what you originally had. And if you don't want to use the BMC ring anymore, you could apply that gem and jewel to other rings as well, if that makes sense. Did I update Taming Gear drop rates? I got next to nothing the last 2 multi-hour runs. No, nothing, Bridge Troll, and I saw your message to that. I think you've just had a bad run of, I saw you mention that on the forums, a bad run with RNG or something. I think you were specifically talking about boars. Let me see if I can get Unity to go back into focus. It's being stubborn. But yeah, you saw the changes to loot in the patch notes, and there was hardly any this month, other than what got added to for Obsidian Panopticon for the, and then all the different imbued gems and jewels. Ooh, Alexander said something would be insanely cool. I wonder what it was. You know, it's possible, Bard Mez, if you think it's broken, a lot of Bard skills Chris adjusted. If you think it's too heavy one way or the other, you can always link it in the forums, and I can link it for him to read and chat, and he can consider maybe he overcompensated too much on something, or maybe it didn't happen as intended, or maybe he didn't actually intend for that particular one to change. It's possible. But yeah, feel free to nudge me outside of Twitch chat, and I can ask him later. Okay, so from Dices, question: every time I summon a pet commands auto reset to follow close. Yeah, and I remember that too. So even if you left it at follow far, it would never remember that. Can we have it remember our choice? Yeah, put that in the wish list forums, Dices, and maybe that's an easy little thing that can activate really quick for you guys. Yeah, that'd probably be programmer time. But yeah, if you put that in the wishlist forum, then I can link it out to the team. And here, let's do some spam. Here's the patch notes for today. And here's some artifact stat changes, a spreadsheet you guys can look at. Some imbued jewel and gems, a spreadsheet as well. I'll continue to maintain those as we go forward. And I think the only one I'm going to be linking besides those today is maybe the community events post, which is gone. Oh, there it is. Boomity bam. Okay. Do the salvage skills affect chances on getting gems from artifacts? If not, you know what? I don't know if they provide any additional bonus. I'll ask Beezus about that. and I mean in terms of salvage in general. In regards to salvaging those gems, though, I would say no, and it's because I created a single loot table for each artifact type. So possibly, but that might take a lot of work. But let's see if there's maybe for some things it is affecting what you get. Because I know on salvage for some things there's multiple tables in there for different levels of salvage. And one example would be like one item could be a stolen item, like all those mundane things that you can pick up and steal, like, I don't know, a beaker or whatever. And if you were to salvage that, you would have a less chance to get any special items as opposed to salvaging if you got that beaker from a loot drop, that kind of thing. So there's essentially a loot table for the stolen version, or salvage table, and a salvage table for the looted version. Question: considering that there's a 100% chance for a gem for a rare and there are essence costs to level up artifacts, what is the incentive to level an artifact up to legendary or epic now if crafted gear is better? It would depend on the artifact, Mad Chef Azenos. Some there may still be advantages to level them up, some maybe not as much. There may still be some best in slots that are artifacts. I can definitely guess that there are going to be a lot less best in slots items that are artifacts now. But so if there is no incentive, then I'd recommend stopping at probably uncommon, because that's right where artifacts began originally. They were uncommon, and you didn't even have like a lot of common artifacts even available to you until much later when we added them to a ton of loot tables. There were some common ones for newer artifacts that just started as common, but the old style artifacts, they all started as uncommon, and they Chris built a tiering system around uncommon where it was the second level. And so uncommon is going to be statistically your best bet. But if you're impatient, you just want to salvage those commons as you find them because they're really common, go for it. And but yeah, uncommon will be your best bet for the best trade-off. And then if you decide to level up an artifact by tiering it for use, it's like, I want to use a rare or legendary or an epic. And then when you're done using it, you're like, I've depleted it. I don't feel like doing a major repair or whatever, or an ancient essence repair. Then you can salvage it, and you'll get some essences, and you'll get components as well for rare. Rare, you'll get one component, legendary 2, and then you'll get 3 with epic. And there was originally going to be 1 for epic, and then scaling back from that, and then it left it at less than 1% chance for common. So I went through like 5 iterations of trying to make it less painful, and Sarah Dragon at the last minute convinced me, let's give legendary, because it was going to be 100%, 100%, 100% for rare, legendary, and epic, but no, rare and epic is going to be 2 and 3. But keep in mind going forward, as we analyze how rare these gems are for you guys and jewels to use in your gear, that's kind of our control mechanism to see how prevalent we allow them to go into the world. So you may see the salvage for those items change over time if we determine any of these gems and jewels are too rare. All right. So we got Spinnock the Great. The best way to have a good value on Vexillant Ember Gem is to strongly buff evaporation. It would not affect the DPS. Hate the word. It shows nothing in Soda. As you lose attenuation, but will finally help to fight against high-res mobs, high-resistance mobs like shadow creatures. Huh. That would be kind of nice. Yeah, so I don't know if it was you, Spinnock, in the forums. It might have been you. I think it was you. Mentioned that you didn't like the gem that it provided, and it was like fire speed, and probably because you guys can spam skills pretty readily. So stacking up those dots. I just remember playing games where I'd be stacking up dots. And if you wanted to min-max your DPS as a damage over time build, you were trying to replace this the casts right at the precise moment when the dots wore out. Well, it doesn't seem to be the case in ours. And our duration on those fire dots was already pretty long. So so yeah, fire speed is kind of stinky, isn't it? So Vexlin, conflag. So it's basically fire resist reduction. I do like that. That could add some serious significance to that item too. Ah, my mouse wheels drive me crazy. Oh, here we go. Paul Serdal asks, will cooking items power duration be scaling with skill levels? So a reason to level cooking. Will cooking items power and duration? No, probably not anytime soon. Definitely something that would be nice to have, like, and I've seen this request even when I was a player. People always ask, yeah, I want to be able to make more powerful food based on my cooking ability. And I guess technically you have certain recipes that you can unlock at certain levels of cooking, and we can kind of emulate that a little bit by having some high-level recipes. But having different stats for the same food, like a wide variance, you wouldn't even be able to stack them anymore. And yeah, I don't know. It's a neat concept, definitely. But yeah, it's definitely some new tech. A question from Gwendolyn Obscuro. Do you know if any of the stuff in the release notes was going to patch in later? Pet combat during teleport still doesn't work, but I was waiting a couple of patches before bug reporting it. I think Chris mentioned that pretty early on, that he'd knocked that out where it wouldn't have missed, but I'd just go ahead and bug report it at this point, Gwendolyn, the teleport issue. If it's not working, yeah, maybe just not as intended. All right, question. Would it be possible to have brewing produce slightly different results for each city or region? Perhaps even smaller results for each location within a city? Wowzers. Huge is plus one. I mean, Yeah, that's a tricky one. Two-layer Fairlow asks that. That's definitely some new tech. Would it be possible? Sure. If it would definitely be nice. Yeah, I would put that on the wish list for him. Okay, and then here's maybe a follow-up from Serpentwine because I asked for elaboration. Well, I might have misinterpreted it, but when a lot has terrain problems, I have moved it to a place that doesn't have a terrain problem, then moved it back, and it won't work. Gotcha. Especially if I was putting a fence around the structure. You can solve the terrain problem somewhere else. Okay. You can solve the terrain problem somewhere else. In other words, then move it with Magic Mover to the old spot, and it can clear up that way. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it sounds like you might have a bug in there somewhere. You can bug report that, but if it's just related to the terrain issue, then hopefully Chris will knock out that terrain adjustment feature for player-owned towns to help you guys out. All right, Asmodi Mole asks, any chance of lowering the yield of young fish a little bit? Having a young fish yield the same as a rare fish is a little too much. So that's by design, Asmodi. The basis for the food system wasn't to make any particular food ultra rare, because every food has a purpose, and we didn't want anyone that has a particular build be like, oh, why is all my food like super hard to get? where I have to get, these large Mosasauruses rather than, of course, the young Mosasaurus, which is more common. And then if I were to scale by scarcity for the rarer ones, it would go up significantly if you went by percent chance and applied that to how many meats you get. So now do keep in mind there's a lot of fish sizes you guys don't have available to you yet. And I already programmed those in, the ones that Beezus hasn't released to you, they do have increased yields for the trophy fish. So I'm not going to be lowering young fish, but the trophy fish, when he starts adding in the additional sizes for it, they'll have continually increasing yields a little bit, to make it feel like a trophy fish is a little bit extra special. But ultimately, the purpose of the trophy fish is to be a trophy, not to be a big boon for the meat. The young fish were primarily supposed to be your meat source for those particular fish. Yeah, running the math, if I were to not put the young fish in, how many fillets it would take for those fish to be viable as a source of food, where you weren't charging like $25,000 per piece of food on your vendor. You would have had to have tons of fillets dropped for each one based on the scarcity. That's why I added the young fish. Irish Eyes, not sure if you missed my question. Can we be able to hide our locked items in the inventory? Be nice to have scroll past them all the time. I'm guessing that'd be something very easy for Difficult to figure out. I'll ask him if he's interested in doing it. So it'd basically be in that cog where you're hiding your quest items and stuff. You'd also have an option to hide your locked items. I guess that makes sense. Even puts a little extra layer of protection. You won't accidentally unlock it and then accidentally sell it, right? Okay. And there may be some issues as to why that's not desirable. But I'll run it by him. Luan Zhang says, question, any news on global market? No news on global market. We know that's a hot topic. We see it in the forums all the time. Even growing up in Shroud of the Avatar as a player, people were talking about it all the time. And, definitely pluses and minuses to staying one way or the other. I do know that Difficult has mentioned several times he's kind of on his background working on, vendor UI, player vendor UI. So you guys can expect some improvements in that regard coming up. No ETA, of course, but that would hopefully alleviate some issues. But in terms of advertising your wares and stuff, probably not. In any case, one thing that might help a little bit, baby step, is remember when you can rename your properties and it shows up in the lot listing. So like if you renamed your property. Luan Zhang's tailor shop. Well, when people look at the lot listing, which is now available in the main window screen where they can just call it up with a hotkey, they'll say, oh, it's a tailor shop, and they can set a waypoint and go right to your shop. So if, clever uses of those could help it when people go to the town. Now keep in mind, I know that's not a global market system, but at least it's a step in that right direction where, when you go into a town, you can kind of see what the names of people's houses are and get some indication as what the purpose of the house is and why you would want to visit it. Even advertise your dungeon if you want, or, your dance floor or whatever. Or even temporary messages, and change it out as, things change on your vendor. Oh, Alexander was talking about necklace socketable. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe it's just a matter of me hooking it up. Any way to buffer data between instances so zoning is not so. Snowdog JJJ, that's going to be a question for Chris. I don't know how much stuff that was already in memory stays in memory and, for the next scene load and stuff to speed things up. I know that if you go back in time, compare our load times to 3-4 years ago, compared to our load times now, everything just keeps getting gradually more and more optimized. Kind of interesting too is that a lot of folks were saying that for some reason things seemed they noticed some speedier optimization type stuff in this patch, and I didn't find too many of that stuff to report in the patch notes, so I don't know if it was just something I didn't see that Chris had worked on or something. They have been through a couple of rounds of balancing, including some skills, some items, some restructuring. They'll support crafting, all cool stuff. And this is coming from Big Tex Games. Do we have further creature instance episodic content or questing expansions? So we have, I think, for R91, and we still haven't let the cat out of the bag on this. This is something that Damon's been working on for, I think, about 3 months, if I had to guess. A new model for you guys, a new monster model. And there's going to be a new scene with that new monster model in it. And it's going to be a boss fight. Yeah, absolutely. So keep in mind, this was a tick out of the TikTok development cycle for R90. So mostly polish and not so much a focus on game content, polish bug fixes, UI improvements, that kind of thing. Though, the gems, of course, jewels being, content. Oh, hold on. Oh, and it looks like Ravalox wants to join here late to come in on voice, just in case he wants to see something. Let me get him set up. He might have something to talk to you guys about. And he may have some answers on some questions too. All right. Well, there we go. And let's see if I can find him. And let's go video or voice. Okay.
Greetings.
Hey there. Hey guys, can you hear Ravalox okay?
Hello, everybody.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Seems a little quiet.
Yeah, might be. Could be on my side as far as that's concerned. Yeah, you could do the slider on Discord if you don't have everything already pumped up. Low. So.
Let's see. I don't see a slider. Noise suppression powered by Crisp. Okay.
If you I think if you right click on my name in the voice conversation, there's going to be a slider thing.
Oh, right click up top. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Then the user volume is there, and you could slide that up and down.
Okay, that should. I just doubled it. So if it's too loud, guys, let me know and I'll tweak it down.
There you go. Yep. Audience can help.
Cool. And right now I'm just doing Q&A, just trying to keep up. I don't have the bot, so I'm just kind of trying to keep up with the chat channel. And right.
Sorry about being late.
Oh, no
I
worries.
was actually up all night and didn't get to bed actually until about 10:30. So.
Yeah, that's the that's you have an unusual sleeping schedule. Yeah, I'm pretty traditional. Get up a little early, but other than that, yeah. So I was kind of in the middle of a question, answering a question. Let me get through that real quick, and then.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. So this was the question from Big Tex Games, just asking about, we're working on all this kind of stuff that came out for R90, but is going to be new content. I was explaining to him, of course, that we've got the R91. There will likely be a new scene with a new monster model that we'll be revealing, and if not, very soon after, because we're getting really close to letting the cat out of the bag on that one. And really think you guys are going to be impressed and have a lot of fun with this one. There'll be some new artifacts coming in, some new gear items and stuff for loot and all that kind of things coming for that particular scene release. So that's definitely something on the radar in terms of new episode 2 content. And then I believe List just started working on another new scene as well. So so lots of content, of course, is just always going to be on the radar, but just look for that on the talk releases. Every other release is a tick, and every other release is a talk. Okay.
Ugh.
Okay, so I got a message from Bridge Troll. Yeah, hitting the bores for months. They've been very different today. Went to check Panopticon and found the same bad drop rate. Okay. Yeah, no, not a. Yeah, no real major adjustments to loot for R90. So I'm not really sure. You might just have had a bad batch of RNG, Bridge Troll. Bores, especially, I don't believe I touched. And if I could get Unity to actually come into focus. Yeah, it's not one to behave, so I'd be able to check the numbers for you. You can always PM me and I can double check and let you know. Just verify nothing changed. And do you want to, do you have anything to talk about, Steven? You want to take over for a little while and talk about something coming up or something you're working on?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, go for it.
First thing I want to address is that they were asking if I was going to sing. So I suppose that means that somebody did the leak thing.
No, not yet. I don't think. I already turned them down for singing, so pressure's on you, I guess.
I see. They probably don't want to hear my singing.
It's not the same if it's not Chris. So.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I have a few things that I wanted to
Cool.
mention. Nothing too major, I suppose, but I let's see. Well, of course, the whole reason why I was up last night was I was doing double time on making sure that every single one of the missing physical rewards people have received an email, or at least we've sent them out. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew who was listening to the stream and spread the word out there to check your inboxes. Make sure that support@portalarium.com is in your whitelist. If you didn't get an email, I'm going to send out the emails weekly. I got a 30-day window on this. We're going to be acting on everything between now, of course, and June 30th. So the actual mailing of the items will happen somewhere between now and into July, and to get the entire list taken care of. If anybody who doesn't respond back to verify their email, their physical address and such, then they won't get a box, because we need to get that information all verified and make sure that they're still where they were. We've gotten a lot of people who've moved. Obviously it's been a long time. Nobody expected it to take this long, and many apologies for delays. But we are finally wrapping this whole thing up. This is going to be the last big push. We want to get all the boxes out the door that we can, and then that's going to be about the end of that, because supplies and all that neat stuff are wrapping up. So that's one major thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of.
Cool.
Boy. So as far as things that are coming, definitely going to be working on player dungeons coming up soon. Now that I've gotten some of the things that I was doing this month wrapped up, that were big hit items. Still continuing on with the maps. So we're going to get all the maps done, and I've gotten some maps into this release. Not as many as I wanted to, because some of the maps that we're working on now are more complex, require more editing and Photoshop and such. But keep going. And now I'm going to balance between some maps and then some other things that I'm doing and everything like that. So player dungeons is on that list of things. I got a list of dungeon rooms that need to be created. Have you talked about the player dungeons yet today?
No, I didn't really have any new stuff to discuss about them. I don't think we had anything. But yeah, go for it if you like.
Yeah, no. I think you would mention something about creating the forum. So you might want to
yeah. I just had a PM from somebody saying, hey, it'd be great, just like the guilds and towns, that we have a forum to talk about our dungeons. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the forums, there's a new player-created dungeon forum where you guys can. There's a main sticky thread where you can advertise your dungeon, and I'll put it in a directory. For the lack of having tech in game that does that for now, and then And then, of course, you can post your main thread about your dungeon in that forum, so it's not separated or lost in the kerfuffle of all the other forums, and you'll know where to go to look for player-created dungeons to monkey around with. As that system gets more and more fleshed out, that forum will get more and more important.
Yep, exactly. And I actually, when you posted that, I was already sleeping, but it woke me up, so I responded back. I think it's a great idea,
Cool.
and in fact, I want to put a sub forum in there for dungeon room ideas. So dungeon
Oh,
rooms is
nice.
one of my primary things. So I want to do that, and then we could have discussions in there and everything, and the players could tell me what kind of weird off the wall ideas they think about that they want dungeon rooms in the game and such. So make it a good feedback area too.
Oh, yeah. So you ready for questions, or
Give me a second.
you got more stuff to announce?
Oh, I got more stuff. um, okay, all right. So yes, if anybody doesn't get the email, send an email to support@portalarium.com and just put in the title that's for physical rewards and to my attention, that type of thing. What we need in the email is your account name. Now, that's what you use to log into the Portalarium website. Okay, your account name. You could put in your user ID number and then any other information that you have, like your pledge level, things along those lines. That'll help reduce the time on the research. That way, I just verify it. And then I'll get back to you and let you know that we have you verified and everything and confirm it. Of course, your shipping address needs to be in that email as well. And that should do it. So, okay. Then the last thing I had that I wanted to update that was going to sprinkle into this stream is Hometown that we're putting in the new items that are coming into the store as they come into the store.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be on display in Hometown, so players can go out there and take a look at them, just like the houses. And there's an area that's just in. You go past the row houses, and then off to the right, if I remember correctly. I'm sure I'll be corrected internally here if I'm wrong. And there's the intrapot street signs that'll help you get teleported directly to that as well. So I think Lainey was talking to you about that in the background, right?
Yeah, she's been working on that. It's a great idea, and to showcase those items, give people another way to, other than that little 3D preview, which sometimes you just can't really get the true feel for how big it is compared to your character and that kind of stuff.
Exactly, right. Now, this actually kind of ties into I want to say a larger, but a huger project, which is to rebuild Hometown. Kind of making a new map that's going to be called Hometown 2. I've mentioned it on the stream a few times, and that's one of my long-term projects. The scene is going to basically double or even possibly quadruple in size to make sure that all the houses are on the main template, not on the little sub templates we have for showing off the pot scenes. All the houses will be up there. We'll have a better organization as to how the houses are put in, and there's going to be a section that will be a FAW NPC town that will show off items as well. And so that way, like what we're doing here with the store items, it'll still be very obvious where the store items are. You won't have to search for them or anything, but same type of situation where there'll be a display area. But there'll be a section of Hometown that'll actually have it where you can see where items are that you can buy in the store as well.
Awesome.
So it's a huge project, and obviously things could change obviously between now and when it's finished. It could take quite a long time to get this all finished.
Cool. Yeah, understandable. I mean, there's a lot of houses, there's a lot of decoration items, and a lot of basements, and oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, and as it is now, the houses are being decorated. We're sweeping through, and because the houses, of course, can be property managed and moved onto the new scene when we're ready. So that's already starting up, and will continue throughout. So definitely go visit hometown. There's things changing down there, and it's getting prettier and more things to look at.
Nice. Awesome. You ready for questions now, or you got more stuff?
Yep, nope, I'm good for questions now.
All right, cool. I got a question from Zamiago asking about basically some nuances to drag and drops in the inventory and different special commands and stuff like that. And it's pretty involved, Zamiago. I recommend you put this in a more verbose, specific write-up on the wishlist forum so other players can comment on it. And then I can also link it to Devilcult, our programmer, and he does UI work, and maybe he'll glean some gems from that and maybe implement some of it. So yeah, please put that your comments in the wishlist forum for that one. And we've got a question from Strider Green. Is there any chance we can get one of these Friday streams on Saturday, maybe once a month, for those of us who work? Usually miss this. Yeah, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we could do. I'm gonna be hosting the streams every so often, if not every Friday, where everybody will still come in, but I'll be driving the stream, so that way we'll be able to do more activity in game. Because
nice.
right now, you're hosting and you're busy taking care of the chat room and everything, and it's very difficult to run around the game and show off the game while you're doing it. So
yeah.
while Chris and yourself or whoever is up there talking about all the stuff, answering questions and things,
Yeah.
and I'll be in the background running the game and running around. So
Cool.
since my schedule is where I'm off on the weekends as far as that's concerned, but my main Shroud of the Avatar, my main catnip time is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's when I get the most of my work done. So I'm available to do those streams with no problem.
Awesome. That is cool. Yeah.
Hey,
something
sorry.
more. Of course, you'll probably focus on making really good views of walls and mailboxes and stuff to make sure that we keep the tradition alive of Chris's. Yeah, he loves those mailbox views.
Yeah.
I see that Devilcold already responded about that hiding locked items from inventory view, and it looks like it's something he's interested in working on, or at least looking into. So
Yeah.
that's good news.
Yeah. Oh, hey, before we get too far on the hometown subject, one thing I wanted to add in there that was pointed out, there's a huge effort has gone into this, and this is going to be really cool. In the past, the basements were scattered about on the in hometown, and it was not easy to find them all. There are going to be a series of lots set up where the basements will be there right next to each other.
Cool.
With signposts and stuff. It's a work in progress, but it's looking really good.
Oh, neat. Yeah, that's going to be something they really want to be able to model in person, the basements.
Right.
I don't even know. Did the basements even come up in 3D preview in the store? I don't think they do.
That's a good question. I don't know.
See.
It would be really cool if they did.
Yeah.
Somebody just Crossfire just asked or mentioned that the West End map is the markers are off by 90 degrees. So I'll take a look at that, and we'll get that into one of the next patches. Get that fixed.
You can get a nice 3D preview of what a basement hatch looks like.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, so that hometown feature is going to be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's see here. And kind of cool, a little nuance of what Devilcult said he wanted to try with that locked inventory item, hiding them. He's thinking about just making it where they disappear from the main tab and show up in a whole separate tab for locked items. That'd be super sweet. Then you have one tab where you basically have all your locked items if you're trying to have almost like a customized filter view for certain things.
Yeah. Same thing with the we have the ability to hide the quest items now. So
yeah. Let's see here. All right, so we got I have to say hello. Oh, thank you very much, Deo Nomad. I appreciate that. He's just thanking me for hosting the stream. Yeah, Chris's computer went kaput at the last second. He's been having troubles for a little while. And good news, too, to hear that Ravalox will be doing a lot of stream hosting. I don't know how much I'll probably just be filling in, if there's nobody to cover it. But it's good to see that Ravalox, that you're interested.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I used to stream a lot actually. In my previous life, I worked on ESO, and and it's much in a player type of role, but I was one of the first people doing add-ons over there, the Lewis stuff, and eventually I had the same type of relationship I had with the devs here, like a lot of players, local to Austin came down and visited. So I was also the deputy guildmaster of one of the first stable and large guilds over there, as large as ESO will let you have, and so we did a weekly podcast type of thing, on a webcast, I guess is the right term, and we there was a bunch of stuff involved, and different life, as I said. But yeah, it'll be good to get back into it. Even over here, I did some streaming in the past, but I've been off the air, as it were, for a number of years because of all the stuff that I've been going through, and that's pretty much over with. So I'm going to be full steam ahead. Yeah, so that's the plan, is to be on it as much as I can.
Cool. I'm still trying to get prizes queued up too. I've got one that queued properly, so now I'm running the second one.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see here. And we should be doing 4 this time. I think we got to Hype Train 4. All right, I had a question picked out.
I saw a note in there about deleting the basement hatch. I think I think all the basement hatches can be made into patterns, right?
There's basement hatch patterns, so yeah, they can reshape the basement hatch to look like have other visuals, like the Dark Star, right, the Lord British one, the mine entrance. I don't know. If I had to guess, there's probably a good 10 patterns for basement hatches.
Right, right. So I mean, as far as destroying them, I think that would be the way to destroy them, break them down into a pattern. But we don't. I don't think. Do we allow for destruction of purchased items?
I mean, the hatches themselves aren't purchased separately. I think you just get one. I ended up with a ton of them for some reason.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I think it's just maybe it's something we should just allow for destruction. Just put on a vendor the basic hatch. Why not? Put it on a merchant. That way they can destroy them. It probably is set for like a premium item where you can't destroy it.
Yeah. And that's why I suspect, because when you buy the basement, you get a hatch with it, and it's probably flagged as premium. So that might be something to look into. Hey, put it on like a woodworking vendor or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'd have to go into each and every store entry though and remove it also, which because it's not going to let me put a non-premium item on the store. But
right. Yeah, well, a little bit of work, but I guess it does make sense, right?
Oh yeah. All right, let's see here. Hopefully I'm where I left off. Oh, and then Gwendolyn says, so when you do that, please label the lots with the house name. And that is, I think, already planned, right, for hometown?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the original plan actually was that we were going to have conversationalists that would be all over the place and guide you, through a massive script. It was going to be a dev version of the conversationalist, which I still may do. But at this point, the advent of some of the newer technology, as it were, that we have now in place, it's no longer a necessary thing.
Okay. I've got Lavagix chimed in. Great view of Spindleskog right now. Hey, Lavagix. Lavagix is a former developer for Shroud of the Avatar guys. Did, I think, a lot of animations and whatnot. And is a streamer. Should be sure to get him on follow. Let's see here. Okay, Spinock, the great question. As an idea, fighters have Bandit, mages have Akara. Looks like mages need light armor artifact suit, and fighters need heavy armor artifact suit. Yeah, because the Akara was kind of like giving mages an option for heavier set. A little bit. Now it can maximize up to be like the fizzle values of chain armor rather than just being near zero fizzle value. And then Bandit gear, of course, being leathery and not really focused for magic bonuses. So yeah, I mean, entire suits of armor with set bonuses, possibly. Ultimately, the big focus I'll be having when I'm adding new artifacts will be fleshing out the missing jewels and gem buffs and making sure I'm making artifacts that aren't already for an overrepresented school of magic or skill tree for artifacts. And then, of course, ultimately, gems and jewels. But yes, absolutely. Not to say they're not going to make whole suits of armor again, but yeah, that's definitely something we could do. Another one from, that's in a weird color, Bane Rampage Goods. Can we get it so we can assign certain loot to go into certain bags? I mean, that would certainly be interesting. That's definitely new tech. Who knows what Devil Cult will come up with in the future, as he works through all the systems and gives them polish. Like where you set up rules that these type of things go into this, these type of things go into that. But yeah.
Yeah, I do like the idea. It's especially for gatherers, then you don't have to worry about sorting things out later.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely put that in the wish list for him. And I can link it to Devil Cult. He might still be listening in too, and then maybe he can put it on his to-do list or his wish list if he, wants to do it at some point someday. All right, what else do we got? All right, I just read that. Any news? Again, this is coming from Dart and Obscuro. Any news on the next book? Oh, and of course, Ravalox, you might have info on that. You helped edit it.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I'm one of the people who keep on prodding the publisher. So, basically, I think we're looking at June or July. Those are unofficial, dates at this point. But as I said, just to repeat, all the editing has been done. I've confirmed that there's an audiobook version of it, and Audible has the text. So, and I've also confirmed that they have the right text. I'm actually, very anal about details, and so I just said, okay, forward me the stuff that you sent to them. Make sure it was the right copy. There was a lot of stuff that we went through towards the end for edits and things. I will make sure that the right stuff got in. So as far as the actual paper publishing, I do not know where they are in that process, but I know all of the stuff is in line and ready to go. So hopefully we'll see the book come out somewhere in the summer.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. It's been a long ride.
And, whoops. We're getting close to the end of the chat. I'm almost caught up. All right. Can the visual bug of Ringmaster's Vest changing my black skin to white arms be changed? I've seen some reports about that lately where, things that don't fully cover a body part, the exposed skin isn't the right color based on the skin tone of the character. So, I don't know, that's probably like a bug by piece of armor by pieces of armor bug report, I would imagine, but...
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, each item has to have a mask assigned to it and stuff.
Okay.
So that would be, and Damon would have to look at that as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely bug report that fob kill. And then that way you can get the bug brigade can do their magic and make sure it gets in Damon's hands, the artist. Crossfire Bug's Eye question: any update on when the stone fireplace and stone wood fireplace recipes will be fixed? Crossfire, I just assigned those JIRAs to myself, and I plan to get a batch of about 20 or 30 bugs done before I dive into my projects this month. And I saw that those two bug reports they might even be on the same bug report, were in that JIRA. So hopefully I'll have that knocked out pretty quick if it's just a simple recipe problem. If it ends up being something crazy, then I'll have to hand it off to somebody. And then let's see here. Spinnock asks, what's the icons 5 through 9 in my deck? Never seen them in game. A new tree. No, not a new tree. What do we got? Oh, they're fireworks. This character is still geared up for going to dance parties back when Darkstar was running the... this is my GM account, so I don't use it for any sort of adventure or anything. Probably its decks are pretty pathetic. I got some decks in here that I made. But yeah, in any case, yeah, those are just fireworks icons. All right. Vesper Sorta says, can we please have the POT style docks in the Crown store? I have got that on my to-do list for deco for the store. That's something I can do, is steal existing deco and turn it into a store item, Vesper, or even a crafted item. And it's on my short list for new docks, and I even want to do like floating lights, so you can put lights out, like floating lanterns and stuff. I haven't found a really good lantern to use for it yet, though, for a floating version. And then also one of the things that's coming, you saw the picture on the update, is the new crumbling stone staircase ruins that matches the existing ruin set, small, medium, large. That's going to come to the store mid-month, this month, I believe. But next month, and I didn't have time this month, I was hoping to get it done, is going to be a 15-pack ruined wall set that matches that type of stone, those original stone ruins, and then the new one. Or little pieces of walls and pillars in various states of decay, and it'll be a 15-pack, and that way you can really flesh out and make a nice ruined area for your town, little mazes. I really enjoyed doing those with Kali. If you go to my town, Kali, Kahli, you'll see a ruins area that I have a lot of pride in. But maybe if you guys enjoy decorating with ruins, you'll get some enjoyment out of that. But yeah, docks, definitely. Back to that, definitely docks. But yeah, it is kind of nice to have those lot markers that you can use to kind of make some docks, but it is kind of, not ideal situation. So yeah, I'll try to make some more for you. Next question, No Face Press. Any forecast on when we can place planting beds that have contents? I have some rare plants in them. Planting beds that have contents. Are you having problems not placing a planting bed that has plants already in it? Yeah, that might be a fancy person, like a programmer, to figure out what's wrong. Might be a bug report, and I want to say there might be an existing bug report on that.
Well, do we have planting beds that have? I mean, apart from the pot planting beds which have flowers in them, which we modified because there was a problem with doing public gardens, right? Do we actually have planting beds that are pre-populated with? I think that's what it sounds like to me, is that they're asking for planting beds that have like rare flowers or things in them already.
Well, he's saying he has some rare plants in them. Yeah, meaning maybe he put them into his inventory because they had plants that were growing and now can't put them back out. I don't know. Sounds like a bug report, definitely, though. Yeah, but I mean, we did release some more flower beds recently with pre-existing flowers. You got the lilies that came out recently. We do have a lot of potted plants and things like that do have pre-existing plants on it, but in the pot or the planter or whatever. But if you're talking about the actual agriculture system and it's not letting you put it back down, maybe that's a bug. Oh, he says, yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely a bug report, and I think it might already be in there. It was one I skipped past, though, because that's beyond me. That's going to be a programmer, I think. Are we supposed to be able to move emotes to the quick bar? The emotes can be picked up but not placed. That was something you were talking about with Damon, I think, recently, Ravalox, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Yeah, Devil Cult, Damon and I were having a conversation about that. Oh, and Travis as well. It's I don't think we firmed it up yet, but I think we got ourselves to a point where the idea is a good one, that we will be adding the ability to drag them and drop them onto the utility bar. But we're not quite at the point yet where we can say, okay, there's a time frame and it'll be out there. I think we'll have to see how things go this month, where we start looking at prototyping and
Cool.
get that on there. Because there's a few other additions. I don't want to go into too many details. I want some surprises to be in there. What we're gonna do with the utility bar and the combat bar and stuff. So we're floating around a bunch of quality of life changes there.
Cool. And I just ran the last of the prize bots. Just got to wait for it. And pushed it up. All right. See what we got here. All right, the disco ball's already on my short list. Bane Rampage goods to make it. It's a real easy change to let you guys put it outdoors on exterior ceilings. You'll probably have a little bit of limitation in how many exterior ceilings are available to you, but in any case, yeah, I can enable that. It is on my to-do list. A lot of the little things I like to get done each month, I kind of ran out of time this month. Didn't get to too many of them. So a question from Serpentwine. I have 10 to 20 items that won't place because they are sideways. And when you try to place them, they will not. And Conred, but are, so they try to be placeable, I guess. Serpentwine, just PM me what those 10 to 20 items are, or put them in a bug report and then PM me the bug report link. And but either way, I'll look at all of them. Kind of weird that you have 10 to 20 items that can't place. Kind of strange. Yeah, but I'll definitely look at them.
It sounds like the additional rotate axis, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I've seen some prefabs that, if you reset to a home position, they're embedded in the ground. So it's kind of strange why they kind of start off sideways. Kind of like there was a fish I fixed recently that when you'd place it, it was buried into the ground. Let's see here. So question, Irish size, yes, can beds be resizable? So currently we don't offer any scaling to Irish size for anything that is involved with pathing of the avatar. So chairs, beds, crafting stations, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can't scale. Oh, and Coswold said that planner bug is rare and hard to repro. So, all right. Well, thanks for letting us out, Coswold. We'll keep an eye open for people reporting that. Maybe they've figured out a way to repro it.
Yeah, definitely. If there's somebody who's sadly cursed and has it happen every time, definitely let us know, because then we'll go on to your account and see what we can figure out. Maybe there's something in the scene that's around it that's causing it to happen.
Have you ever thought about actually the concept of luck to the game, like in success rates, loot chance? Yeah, I mean, it's a neat concept. You mean like you have like a stat that we already have these existing loot tables, and the stat can somehow, affect your loot? Yeah, I would imagine so. It'd be kind of cool. It would definitely be a lot of work because we have tons of loot tables to alter them to actually behave with some sort of new tech that did have that. So it wouldn't just be adding luck, it would be modifying all of our loot tables also to go along with it. But yeah, that would be neat. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. And that sounds to me like it would probably be a primary stat: strength, intelligence, dexterity, and luck. But yeah, I don't know. That's definitely not on the radar though. Just look at it from the perspectives of, your luck in game is your luck. It's, the RNG that's already kind of standardized for each system, like loot chances, they're kind of just hard numbered in, and your luck is what, dictates whether you got good loot or not. You have POT placeable farmlands and for pure deco purposes. Oh, like rows of crops that are just there as deco? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would take it out of the agriculture system, but then again, we have a lot of pre-planted pots and flowers and stuff anyway. Maybe like farm versions.
Yeah, if it's only deco.
Yeah.
You could even make packs. Well, not I wouldn't say packs, but different sizes. Like
Yeah.
Start off with like a quarter of a row lot, and then make larger ones that would end up being the largest filling of an entire row lot, for instance.
Mm-hmm. And that would allow us to be a little more creative with like right now, if you place out all your planters to kind of look like a farm, it looks like a bunch of planters, with plants coming out of it. But of course, farms aren't like that. So it would allow you to actually have a custom look. I don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. That's cool. Might not be too hard to figure out. I just need good dirt patches.
Yep.
All right.
What you need for that is what looks like rows of tilled,
Yeah,
soil.
like tilled soil. Yeah, like raised up a little maybe.
Exactly.
All right, what else we got? So B Striker says, please do not have saltwater or lava dungeon fishing holes. This would ruin PvP fishing. And so I think maybe you're referring to looking at B Striker's probably referring to, like, let's say if we were to run a contest in Blood Bay, and right now you can go into a dungeon in Blood Bay and on somebody's property and fish freshwater, and it still says it was fished in Blood Bay. And
does it?
Yeah, and so therefore you can't have a freshwater fishing contest in a PvP zone that has housing, or a town that has housing, because they could be cheating and just in somebody's dungeon fishing risk free. I think that's probably what she's referring to. So I mean, that could be a simple tech change to remove the town tag from the fish if it was fished in a basement or a dungeon, but I don't know.
Well, it really is. Got to find out why it's not able to, or not currently showing the basement scene. I know the basement is a template scene, right? So that might be part of the thing. But what happens if you do fishing in a pot?
Well, it'll show the town name.
Okay, if it does that, then there's no reason that I can think of that the basement shouldn't be displayed on the fish as well, because it's the same thing as a POT, right? It's a template scene. So there's probably, technically, that might even be a bug.
Yeah.
But we'll have to. I'll write this down and I'll look into it.
Cool. Yeah. And I mean, Devicult just recently familiarized himself doing that lot listing change where it shows people's dungeon and basement information. He knows where to access the names of those things. So maybe even it could show the custom name somebody gave their basement. I don't know. But then again,
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. That would even be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I wonder what would happen though if they were to change the name of their basement. Would it change each item that said that? Probably not. Maybe it's a one-time timestamp.
Yeah. Right, yeah, it would be real time.
Okay, cool.
Not retro. But I'll actually talk to Devicult about that and see what he thinks.
Cool. Yeah, I got Luan Zhang asking, let's get serious. Who won the fishing tourneys? Well, I don't know. I ran out of time today, and I kind of had a little reprieve too because Lainey sends out all the prizes, and she says, well, I got stuff to do this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to send out prizes. So it kind of worked out well where since the prizes weren't going out anyway, we're just going to make the announcements on Tuesday. It won't be on stream, but those 3 forum posts for screenshot contests, fishing contest, and treasure hunting contest, we'll post the results in there. Hey, it's Winfield. Hey, thank you for the resubscription there, Winfield. Fish. Irish Eyes. We want lava grottos. All right. I think
Yes, lava grottos are coming. That's
Yeah.
actually one of the first things I'll be putting in is the lava grotto.
All right, I think we're good to go. We're kind of caught up on chat, and we got some prizes to read out. Do you have a preference if you want to do names or the prize type?
I'll do the price type this time. I did names
Okay,
last time, I think.
cool.
Let me get back up to live streams. Okay, and I'm ready if you are.
Yep, all set.
Okay, so prizes. The tabletop cherry blossom tree 3-pack goes to
Snow Dog JJJ, Candy, Aristodemus, and Samat Thomas. Congratulations.
and the ornate Viking planting pot 2-pack goes to
Allure Glorothalion, Elwyn Moon, Elrin Silvertree, and Asmodee Mool. Congratulations.
the enemy flower bed goes to
Blaze Garsank, Eve Midnight, Bacon, Thyrsis Bal, and Fish O'Casey. Congratulations.
I think you reversed one there, but
Oh, wait, did it?
yeah, the last one.
Oh, wait, hold on. I went down too low, didn't I? That was Handsome Jack for that last one. Fish O'Casey, you won a different prize. We'll say in a second.
Gotcha. The small fancy pavilion goes to
Arya Blood Moon, Miriel, Ty, and Fish O'Casey.
and as a bonus, that one actually works in game now.
Oh, yay!
The blue marble indoor pool dungeon room goes to
De Niro Aracano, Ruvian Sky Tower, Ian Barry, and Gleppo won. Has won.
Congratulations.
Congrats, guys. And I'll go ahead and since I don't have like prizes for the contest to go through, at least I'll go through the community events and do some last minute spam. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover? I actually expected a lot more questions about the gems and the artifacts, but we didn't really have very many.
This might be a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, I'm good for the moment. I'm still kind of like in a just woke up phase, so I probably have more things I should have covered, and I'll probably get pinged on them internally saying, "Why didn't you mention this?" But we're good. Good stream.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for joining.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry I was late.
Oh, no, you're good. And I'm just getting some last minute chat spam out for any links they might want to click on, give them some weekend activities. And let's see here. Let's go through the community events that I just linked. Alrighty. So, of course, one disadvantage for me to putting this off until Tuesday is the locations for the treasure hunting contest and the fishing contest. We're going to keep it the present locations up until Tuesday at noon, let's say, and I'll put that in those forum posts too. And just because I don't have the new locations ready because I ran out of time, and then I'll get all that stuff switched over as well on Tuesday, where you'll see the new locations for release 90. So I'm going to go right after stream and just put that little reminder that there's an extension on the time frame for that contest just for over the holiday weekend. And don't forget, we have a 20% off sale on Crowns of the Obsidian. Holdfast POTs are 20% off. There's also the 2-hour flash sales going on and the 50% XP rewards that are live all until Tuesday at noon. So don't forget, for special announcements, guys, we got the New Britannia Theater Troupe needs you. That's right. So if you want to become an actor or an actress, or if you're good at writing fan fiction about the game, or you want to become a voice actor, or just help the folks over at thecaverns.net, Echoes from the Caverns folks run a lot of great events and plays and stuff like that. So get involved. It's a very creative group, and it's a really fun group to work with. And if you're interested in seeing their or listening to their podcast, that's basically a whole bunch of fan fiction items that have professionally been put into like orations with background music and everything, so you can listen to these stories while you're driving or whatever. There's a link to the podcasts. What else do we got here? I didn't have any one-time events to advertise this time. So we got the Mad Splatter Tea Party coming up. And that's a recurring event every month. This time it's going to be Sunday, June 13th at 3 p.m. Central in Lilybird's back garden, Jade Valley. So get your role-playing gear ready before you head over. We also got the Lightbringer Isle Fishing Contest, now switching to a monthly format. Lots of fantastic prizes. I think upwards of a player-owned town village lot deed is one of the big prizes they have. So yeah, don't miss out. Don't lawyer me on that though. I just trying to remember what I read. And we also got the Barron's Reach new player welcome event. Just by letting yourself be known while you're visiting Barron's New Reach, all their new residents get, I think it was like, it says just come give them a gander and you'll get 10,000 gold simply for visiting. And following a simple set of instructions to notify their leaders that you visited. All right, so Combat and Crafting Sunday School run by Len Dragonfire and friends over in Mortal City. If you want to learn various aspects of the game, well, or just to hang out and meet some people, Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. Central, and you learn the tricks and trade, combat and crafting. We also got the Sonia Solar's 500 Crown Fishy Prize that runs every month. And that's now and forever for all eternity. She's going to be running that contest, so let's hold her to that. So another opportunity for your fishermen to win some great prizes. RHEC Traveling Pop-Up Fishing Contest, run by Asmodee Mool and friends. Yeah, please don't miss out. And we got the weekly Lightbringer Isle auction, guys. That's every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, taking place in Lightbringer Isle. And judging by every time I come in on Monday morning and going through the forums and seeing all the things that's sold on auction, it looks like it's a pretty active auction house, so don't miss out. We've got new fan fiction. Mingo is hard at work at the White Raven Inn, posting his fan fiction on his forum thread. You want to get involved, maybe do some forum roleplay with him, please do, or just enjoy the stories. And also we got new short stories at the Caverns.net that Asclepius had just advertised, so that link I just gave you, they should be there as well. But he narrated another 3 short stories. We've got Wombi, who's back. He used to run the Wombi Environ bookstores back in the day, and it's good to see him back in the community and already back into fan fiction. It was great. And Fetid Surdidi wrote one of these 3 as well. And what else do we got? And new community resources. I'm still listing these. The guide to naming housing lots. Recently with that change where the lot listing window allows you to name those, well, this teaches you how to do it. In fact, let me link this in chat. Winfield's happy. Yeah, Wombi's back, Winfield. Yes, you could write fish stories. Love it. All right, and let's see here. Skill information, it's sodalore.com. He added a new tab to the Sodalore interface that gives you more information. It's always a fantastic resource, for crafting and agriculture especially. I've used it for agriculture nonstop. But he added a skills tab to help you guys determine like skill amounts and stuff. All right, guys. So if anything comes up, don't hesitate to contact us. On the forums. I'm Elgarion on the forums. Elgarion4597 on Discord. Ravalox is Ravalox on the forums. Also, please make good use of the wish list forums, the bug reporting forums, the feedback forums, because we do read through that stuff. Don't get discouraged if we don't reply. A lot of times we have time just to do a quick like, but we do read through everything, and a lot of times we transcribe things into our notes for work we'd like to do in the future. So your information sharing is very valuable to us, so please continue to do it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's all I got. You got any last minute things? And we got to pick out somebody to raid.
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Just check out Hometown, and if we owe you physical rewards, please send in an email so that way we can get this thing done.
And we have got 3 people to raid. We've got Coswald Dirthmeyer. We've got Silvertree Consortium, and then we've got Pelagia. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a random roll of 1 through 3. I think it's like /roll 3 or something.
I don't know what the command is in game. I think on Discord, the Sodabot will do a 1d3 roll type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, even the text tell me how to do it. Let me try the brackets. Well, we're just going to pick somebody. All right, let's see here. You know what? It looks like Pelagia. The name is not familiar to me, and it looks like it might be a new player leveling. Why don't you guys go give... oh, it must be in local. Maybe that's what's wrong. Yeah, still nothing. I am in local chat, so weird. In any case, let's go ahead and do Pelagia. But don't forget, Coswald, Dirthmeyer, and Silvertree Consortium are live. Go give them a visit. But let's give this new streamer, or possibly just new to the game, some loving as well. All right, rating in 8 seconds. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll get those prizes out on Tuesday, plus all the other contest prizes out on Tuesday. New contest objectives coming out on Tuesday. But please enjoy your weekend, enjoy the holidays, and stay safe. And happy adventures.
Sorry I was late. See you guys later.
Alrighty, we've rated.